to start, and then we still want to write the fun descriptions. Either way, we're here.
Yeah, we are.
We're here. I don't know.
Why would I write a post about my post on Obvious Nonsense, the page? Why would I do that? Facebook.
And as you know, the battle continues with Facebook and Obvious Nonsense. Because Facebook knows me and Malaysia own Obvious Nonsense. They know it's our page. Let me share it. Thank you. In conclusion, start a watch party. Actually, just watch on my channel, in fact.
I'm like, watch party, so much work to keep up with.
It is. I said watch live.
Watch
English
live.
is hard.
Walk like and wait, it really doesn't want to let me share it from my own page. Well, I'm confused. Why would I not?
Savage gonna need it.
Okay, well, I guess I'm starting a watch party. So, yeah, that's going to be fun.
I'll monitor it from here. Oh, can you go to the chat?
Yeah.
8 episodes in, guys. We still, it's a work in progress,
we don't even have a name for the show.
Like the Christians say, I'm just a work in progress, God
is working on me every day. As you can see. Do I look like God's working on me?
Oh yeah, but the name, I forgot to put that in the schedule, in the agenda. Yeah, we need a name.
Yeah, we don't have a name for the show. Insert name here, the placeholder title we came up with last year. And we, it's really hard to find your culture without a name. We have our culture, but we just don't got a name, to be honest. And we're not really good at coming up with names.
No.
I feel like all my creativity went towards naming Obvious Nonsense in 2014. And so now I'm fucking...
6 years later, a name will never come.
I'm out of it. I can't name shit anymore.
It's impossible to name something now. I'm just like... Nothing also sounds right.
I mean, we could just call it the Obvious Nonsense. But I think...
We could, but I feel like that's too boring for us.
I mean, it's not right. I feel like it's not right, though, because, this is not our Obvious Nonsense podcast. No. This is our political, local politics, talk our shit mostly on Facebook, although it's streamed on YouTube and Twitter podcast. Anyway.
And Spotify now, if you didn't see or didn't know.
We're on Spotify. Eric supported us in that.
Thanks to Eric for pushing us to do it. I legit made an artwork cover after I promised him it in the morning at night. And then he was like, did it almost immediately. We have, I think, 6 of the episodes on there now because he's been pumping them out. He said, upload. So now we all up on Spotify. Who knows where else we are? Probably soon we'll be on other DSPs, as they're called. But let's see. 5 of our episodes are on here. Check it out. It's on Spotify. And
okay. So if you don't know where you are by now, I don't know what the fuck you're doing here because we just talked about nothing for a good 2.5 minutes. But welcome to Insert Name Here, brought to you in full technicolor and living sound with the dulcet tones of Alejandra, the great motherfucker bitch that I love, my friend. I was looking at pictures of us today. This is for the people gonna listen on Spotify later. This is the type of stuff they like. I was looking at pictures of her today, of us rather, and I was like, first of all, I was like, who are these people? Secondly, I was like, dang, we really have been friends for a long time. We've done so much together, so many memories,
been so many places,
and now we're stuck here in this bullshit. And it's me, Malachi, the raspy voiced bitch. Who comes here, every day, kind of just more tired every day, I think. I guess we'll just go in order, because why not? So local politics, that's, our favorite topic. There's a little drama, because it's actually really serious. apparently Rachel Rollins' office filed a thing to like raise bail. Like it's a lot. I gotta find like the article.
The article.
But anyway, so they filed this thing to raise bail.
This motion, I guess, is what it was.
And and everybody was like, "What the hell? Like, what are you doing? That's not what we voted for you for." And I agree. Me also, like, what the fuck? Why would you like? Why is bail going up? You specifically said you wanted to whatever. And so then on Twitter, I think on Monday, was it?
Yeah, it was to back up bail for a homeless man. They were trying to bring his bail up.
Yeah. Anyway, so on Monday, Rachel Rollins, I just saw her tweet about it, and she was like, I didn't know that my office was doing this, and it's my fault for not knowing that, and we're not gonna do that. And I'm like, well, shit. I mean, I guess that's the best ending we could hope for.
Facts. It's one of those, like, sometimes you have to remember that, like, being a DA is one of the worst jobs because you're still you're not a cop, but you're also working under the system where you're kind of a cop.
Yeah, a cop.
Like
a little bit of cop, like not a name, like.
Yeah, like
I would say like most DAs are
like,
bastards.
Jacket, like.
Not all DAs, but most DAs are bastards. I'll say. I'll say all.
It's just, and I like Rachel. It's just, this is something I was like, first of all, I was like, how do you not know something like this?
Yeah, that's bad. But I will say to be fair to her, ADA is suspect as fuck to let's be clear. But to be fair, ADAs do have a ridiculous amount of oversight. Yep. Like they're just daily interaction. That's like part of the reason that people be getting crazy sentences and crazy, and like they be getting charged with shit that they don't need to be getting charged with, because ADA just have a lot of ability to free will and stuff. That's why a DA is so important also, because they have even more power and free will. Like DAs can basically decide who's going to jail, like, because they can just say like we're not going to charge people's not going to charge this person. So
anyway, it's just weird.
It's a mess.
Hopefully, she reins in those ADAs. The issue is ADAs like, who want that job? Like, the people that want that job don't tend to be the best.
Some of those people ran for the DA last time around, and you know how those people were. I'm not gonna say no names except for Greg Henning. Fuck that name.
Yeah, Greg Hennings. Oh, I saw that Soleil was on, and she was asking about. Sorry to name you, but you were asking about why you should vote for like Joe Kennedy or Ed Markey, and one of those things that a lot of people don't mention, but people do on Twitter, but that's a different like political sphere compared to Facebook, is that Joe Kennedy supported Greg Hennings in the last DA race for Suffolk County, and Greg Hennings was like pretty much as conservative as you can get for a DA in our sphere of life. And that to me was a clear like point of like, you can't vote for Joe Kennedy if he has a horrible track record. He didn't support Ayanna Pressley, I believe, when she ran for office.
He has so many things. I'm glad I saw somebody on my timeline on Facebook put up the fossil fuel thing, because people were talking about, like, people have been talking about that stuff on Twitter. But somebody on my timeline put up the thing, like, he has a lot of investments in fossil fuel companies. They're familial. They're like, passed down or whatever. But like, I'm like, sir, you're a fucking representative in the House of Representatives. You have to know what this represents in a time of climate change. Like, I think that if you have something to gain from fossil fuel companies doing well, that's kind of not a good thing. I don't care if you just inherited. You're still like, you're taking, you're like, you're holding those, that's yours. Like, it's yours, and you can gain something from that.
I think my biggest issue with Joe Kennedy is that he's young. He's like 40 something, maybe 40 right now. There's no reason he should have like been opposing weed, been opposing like criminal justice reform, been opposing the things he's opposed in like the past 5-10 years. Like, these are things that don't even make sense. So that's just my little spiel on Joe Kennedy, because now we're going to continue on Joe Kennedy getting bullied.
Okay, listen. So Joe Kennedy deserves the fucking bullying. And I gotta say, like, bro, first of all, the only reason we're even talking about this is because they decided to pull some bullshit and do that. This person who said that something is actually affiliated with my opponent and they're giving me death threats and da 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 da. Yo, his wife, I don't know the bitch name. I'm sorry, you are a bitch because you got yourself involved in this. And no, like, it didn't make any sense. Like, she was like, oh, this person, his name was like some like Greg Thomas fan, and he was from like Indiana, and it said like because somebody was, because I guess Joe Kennedy's people tweeted something like, oh, we're doing this the Kennedy way, or we're super Kennedy, some shit like that, and or somebody tweeted it, and then people were saying like, oh, so he's dead, or like, oh, somebody gotta kill him, Lee Harvey Oswald. It's just random people, like random first name number strings, random like from, like I said, Indianapolis, Indiana, like random ass people. And they're like, oh, these people are death threat. Ed Markey supporters are giving us death threats. They're threatening our family. I said, who? First of all, I didn't see any tweets threatening the family. I saw some people say some weird shit, but they're trolls, bro. They're like, bro, is it your first day on the internet? Are you brand new? Because if you're brand new, you need to get the fuck off. If you don't recognize that when you go on fucking Twitter of all places, there's gonna be weird, probably right wing, maybe Russian, maybe whoever, who even knows? We don't know. They're gonna say weird shit. They're gonna like.
My issue is shocked.
It's ridiculous.
This has been like the Twitter sphere for the past, I don't know, I'd say 2014. It started to get really bad because that's when the election was starting to like really like kick off. So since then, it's been like tweaking. And so Joe Kennedy, if you didn't know, basically his campaign manager sent a letter to Ed Market's campaign manager saying, you know, let's be nice. Here are some of your supporters being very mean and basically insinuating that they want him to get assassinated, like his, who was it? His uncle?
I don't know. All them niggas is the same to me.
And they all be dead, so
see, this is how you're gonna see. Now they're gonna say that we're threatening Joe Kennedy.
Look.
Bro, okay, let me be clear. If I was ever to threaten anybody, I would say very clearly what I was doing.
And I would not say it on social media.
I sure wouldn't. I would just,
or on a recorded podcast.
Bro, definitely never not. No, why would I do that? like sick. Anyway, we're not, bro. Nobody wants anybody hurt. Especially not the Kennedy. We're Bostonians. We love the Kennedys in theory.
Kayan said at noob dicks
in your mom
3493 says, what are you gonna cheat on your wife in Maryland? Monroe? Facts, like
that's what they were. That's what basically the messages were.
And I just want you to know the people that usually like do this act of I'm getting bullied, and there are like specific people that do it towards the end of the election when it's not looking like they're gonna win. They always go, I'm getting bullied, my family's getting bullied, and I'm like,
threats, we're having threats. Yo, Joe Kennedy, he's really not, I just really don't give a fuck. I wish he would not have ran for the seat because I don't want him to win, but I'm like, you know why I don't care? Because Joe Kennedy, you know that ad he just released about Ed Markey not being in Washington? That's hypocritical. Because that nigga Joe Kennedy don't be in Washington, bruh. That nigga Joe Kennedy, Joe Kennedy don't have no bills, bro. I don't. That what kind of what do you prove it to me? And then he got endorsed by Nancy Pelosi, so he definitely didn't want me to vote for him. Like,
I would have said, Nancy, keep that on the low.
I said, Nancy, I'm trying to be a progressive, Nancy. I'm going. And this is a supposedly progressive state.
And Nancy's like main point about supporting him was that he's a good fundraiser. I said,
that's her point about supporting everybody except for the progressives. Yo, Nancy Pelosi, that's what they say about her even. They be like, oh yeah, she's a masterful legislator. You know how much money she raises? That doesn't mean shit. Like, what are you talking about? Like, they say anything, foolish. Bro. They'll say anything.
Next on local politics is, how you say her name? I was supposed to watch a video of her saying her name.
I think it's Damali.
Yes, I think it's Damali. It's her last name. I don't know how to say.
Vidal?
Sure. She's an Afro-Latina, that much I know.
Well,
and she's a city councilor in Chelsea, and she's running for a representative seat. And what I have to say is I forgot to write down which one. Anywho, her opponent is getting a bunch of money in like ads from Charlie Baker's like group. So like a lot of politicians tend to have their little inner circle of like friends and like friends and organizations and PACs that will support whoever they support. So her opponent has been getting a shit ton of money to kind of get people state representative 2nd Suffolk State House district seat. Okay. Her opponent's been getting a lot of money to kind of make sure she doesn't win because she's a very powerful, like, Afro-Latina voice who does not care, like, about what you say or, you know, anything. I mean, she's from, like, people that are from, like, places like Chelsea and those places kind of are very, like, tough off rip because Chelsea is, like, one of those still, like, standing grounds of, like, very old school Massachusetts, like, this is how we're going to do our racist stuff. This is how we're going to do our city council. And she's like, nope.
Yeah, Massachusetts and the city councils, they don't.
Massachusetts and city councils is a book.
I mean, Framingham is Framingham still a town? That massive ass city.
Framingham. What else? Randolph, who's city councilor. If we have somebody, we both do, I think, have somebody on our Facebook who lives in Randolph and is very active in like their city councilor, like president is crazy. Yo, like me and Malaysia will complain like randomly about small things Kim Janey does that we don't agree with, but their city councilor is like a functioning alcoholic and like a racist.
Massachusetts politicians be grimy. I don't know. Like, it's because once you get a seat here, it's so easy to keep it. They just be like, whatever.
Especially in like a small town. Whew.
All those racist
even here, like
towns.
It's a big city, you know,
the capital of the state.
I was gonna sing the beginning to Power, but I never watched Power enough to sing it.
I don't know it at all.
It's like this is a big rich town. Fuck, I know. Anywho,
I don't watch Power.
I think I watched like 2 episodes. Okay,
I watched that we were in the hotel room in Jamaica when your mom was like, I have to watch Power, and she just watched mad episodes. That's when I watched Power. Oh yeah, you know, Louis DeJoy, the Postmaster General, went in front of Congress to obfuscate, to fucking lie and act as if he didn't know what was going on. I'm trying to work on my ableist language. Act as if he didn't know what was happening at his own you know, what is it called? I want to say organization, but that's not the right word. His own
appointment?
You know, the parts of the government, they have a word for that. Like, whatever. Anyway, he ain't trying to act like he don't know what's going on at the post office when he definitely knows because he's a damn Trump appointee. He ordered it. Like, oh no, I didn't know about that. He's like, wait, like what? Like, but you're supposed to know about that. That's what I love about Trump appointees. They all say the same thing as if it's like, oh, that's like their coverall. It's like a shield. I didn't know. I didn't know that happened. Like, okay, so like, you know, the difference between like Rachel Rollins, I didn't know, she didn't know, and then she said, okay, now that I found out, this is not gonna happen. Him, I didn't know. Oh, we're stopping it now, but everything's already been done. They already took off a bunch of machines.
Look, all I know is that there are a bunch of people that works in post offices that were saying pretty much throughout the whole time he was talking, he's lying. That everything he was saying was opposite to what the people, you know, on the ground working in our post offices across the country are dealing with. So never.
He's saying like, oh, there's not much mail right now.
Not much mail. He was like, oh, these things people are talking about are not true.
How could
there policies? And I'm like, how can
there not be much mail when we're all stuck in the house getting things delivered?
How can there not be that much mail?
Like, we don't have a high volume.
On the USPS frequently to deliver mail.
We don't, like, they have a partnership with Amazon. We don't have they say we don't have a high volume of mail. That's
when FedEx, UPS, and all other places don't deliver to small towns across America, so mainly middle America, they don't deliver to y'all. It's the USPS that comes and does it. Just like, whatever y'all want to believe is whatever. But one cool thing was AOC before the what's it called?
The what committee was it?
Yeah, I guess the committee, the hearing or something, I don't know, whatever it was called, was showing how she prepares for the meetings. And I thought that was really cool because it's one of the best things about her is that you learn so much about how like a senator or a representative is like supposed to do their job, because otherwise you're kind of in the blank. And if you've watched the most famous one that I always remember are the tubes. When the dude asked Mark Zuckerberg, Mark, is that his name?
Yes.
Mark Zuckerberg about the tubes of the internet and how the internet works.
Yeah.
And that was like one of those like, oh, you first of all don't even know how to ask these questions, but you don't know what you're talking about.
My favorite was when Steve King asked, I think, who did he ask? No, he asked a Google president why his granddaughter saw an ad of him that was like a bad ad while she was playing her game on an iPhone. Sir, like, what? We don't know. That is the same thing when they asked Mark Zuckerberg about Twitter. Like, they don't do even the bare minimum to know what the fuck is even, like, huh? Anyway, but AOC,
she was showing. I was like, this is like actual, preparation. I put peeps, how she peeps for meetings, so that's good. But it was really cool to see because you kind of get an insight to like how she aligns her questions, and I think she's probably been one of the best like questioners in a long time. To like
she's a good questioner.
It's very like debate style. The way she does it is she has a bunch of points. I can probably share it if I find it. But she basically has a white piece of paper and she writes down on Post-it notes her main questions and moves them around based off of the answers that the person, for this instance, it's the postmaster, has given. So it's just an interesting like perspective into government that makes government cool.
Yeah, and accessible for people. Which government should be accessible for people. So lit. So the postmaster is lying. And also some of the post office workers have gone rogue and started turning machines back on, rather, apparently. So that's lit. Keep doing that. Like, this is what we need. That's what we talk about. We say like civil disobedience. We say like, like boycott. And not really boycott, but like protest. That's protest. Like that's, that's for the people. Like that's actually getting stuff done. Shout out, yo, post office workers are the best people for real. Like, come on, like,
they'd be rude to you at the post office, but now I understand. If my organization was getting attacked and my pension that was supposed to once support me is gone soon, I would also be department.
Yeah,
federal
anyway. Agency. That was the word I was looking for. Hey, look at you. Hey, Ashe. But yeah, so post office workers. My two mailmen have been they're stand up guys. Not that one dude though. I didn't mess with him. He tried to take my package. He tried to take a 100 packet, but
my two white mailmen are nice.
Yeah. Anyway,
they bring my mail. That's all I know.
Damn, that's sad. So getting to more fucking serious topics.
Damn,
it's always happens to us. We're always like joking about some shit.
Okay,
and then we roll into something dead ass. Like
a deep part of me in Malaysia, we don't know how to deal. It's not like we don't know how to deal with emotional things, but we much rather just use comedy for those things because it's much easier to deal with it if it's a little funny.
It's like, I feel like it's either laugh or cry. Sometimes, I cry sometimes,
But I'd rather
But laughing sometimes it be working, it be helping. Anyway, we're not going to laugh, actually. But so there's been more police brutality against another black person who was not doing shit to warrant any violence against them. Like, and people are being especially ignorant about it this time around. Like, and black people too. And it's just like, yeah.
It's like for some reason, like they thought it was gonna go away. Like police brutality because of the month-long protest and everything else that was happening. They were like, oh, that's dealt with it. It's done. Which goes to show you how often people think like this, that things will just go away, that it won't happen anymore, that people won't capture things on camera, that it just doesn't happen. after the trend goes away, after the hashtag
I'm
goes
like,
away.
bro, like this happens so much. Like this is why we're saying this. But anyway, Jacob Blake was in Kenosha, Wisconsin, which I feel like what might be kind of a cute name for like a child, Kenosha. But now it's ruined forever. But anyway,
Going to hell. I'll be dead too, though.
Anyway, so he was doing restorative justice, being a proper citizen of his community, breaking up a fight between two white bitches, apparently. I heard they were white, so that's why I
have
that.
as a proper person that is protecting my own sanity, I have not watched this video and I refuse. I would scroll past everything very quickly.
It was forced upon me.
So I
saw it.
So I have not seen anything. I woke up that morning or that middle of that night and I said, I'm not looking.
I didn't see the whole thing because people are really disrespectful and they just post. In fact, they just post the part where he gets shot. Mm-hmm. So I did see it multiple times, in fact. But he's alive, Jacob Blake.
His name paralyzed.
Is Jacob Blake.
We don't know if it's permanently or not, but he is paralyzed according to his father. It sucks, but at least he's alive.
He's alive.
At least he gets
survived.
to live to
He survived that murder attempt. He survived a murder attempt by the state. The operatives, officers of the state, agents of the state tried to murder this man. Let's be clear about it. It sounds like I'm talking about some crazy conspiracy theory, but that's what it is. They tried to murder him.
He got shot 7 times in the back.
7 times in the back. You only need to shoot on a person once in the back. The back.
You not even once just at the arm,
not
the knee,
not just the back of his body, in his actual back. Where your spine is.
Paralyzed
where most of your organ, if you go through this, a lot of organs in that little area, they tried to murder the man. We have to be clear about that because we talk about, they say officer involved shooting. The officer tried to murder somebody.
The officer
for no reason at all.
He's walking away from me. I have to shoot him. And people need to have honest conversations with themselves about this because, it's so easy to walk away from somebody. And, not only just a setting like him where he was walking away, the police had come for whatever dispute was happening. He walked away going to the car with his kids. Any normal person, that's what I do. The police come, I'm gonna go.
Police
I'm
come,
done.
I'm leaving.
I'm done. Don't know why you need to talk to me.
There is no crime that they could be arresting you for that gets a death sentence carried out at the scene unless you're literally with weapon in hand threatening people's livelihood. And I mean actually threatening them, not just because you're black. You seem scary, right? The police can't just shoot people. And people seem to think being guilty changes that. No, there's nobody that the police can just shoot. You know why so many white people, well, part of the reason is because the system is not made for us, let's be clear, but the reason all those white murderers or whatever live is because they're supposed to live. It's all these people, they say their ideology is that they care about criminal justice, they care about victims, they care about this and that. If you supposedly care about victims and you believe in the criminal justice system, why would you want extrajudicial justice against a perpetrator when a victim has the right to see their the person who harmed them in court? That's what the justice system is supposed to be about, right? Whatever, all that shit they say. And I'm so you bro, cops are not Batman, my nigga. They're not supposed to just go and just beat the shit out of people and crack backs and and fucking murder people. They're not supposed to do that. Even Batman doesn't kill people. Shit.
At least Batman, has the respect.
I mean, barely. I don't know how he manages. He be snapping niggas in half, but okay. But anyway.
Anywho, I hope Jacob Blake recovers as much as he can, that his family, his kids that were there and either heard or saw him. Hopefully it's just heard, because seeing is both is horrible. One is horrible. Anything is horrible. And that the people even around to see that can like heal from that wildness.
And that shit is like, and it's like, it's so every single fucking day, every day this shit happens every day, multiple times a day sometimes, bro. Like,
and it's not even just like, I want to make this clear about police brutality. It's not just about shooting people. Shooting people is one of the like clearest ways because it tends to kill people, but it's about like police officers legit beating the shit out of people,
raping people, like kidnapping people,
threatening people.
The police are like, when you say have y'all ever heard a street nigga say the police are the biggest gang? Like, it sounds like a cliche. That's dead fucking true. Like, if you hear what the police actually be doing to people, they're worse than any gang I know of. Like, any gang right around here, anyway.
I mean, just what we've heard in the past, like, 2 months about what they've done to protesters, which will go on to the protesting happening currently in Wisconsin. In, where was it called?
Kenosha.
We'll talk about that in a second, Mike.
Yeah, we have that on the list.
But we've, like, over the past couple months, we've gotten straight evidence, because a lot of the protesters, thankfully, have been recording police plotting to attack protesters when given an opportunity or an open window to attack them, of police kind of purposefully macing people, pepper spraying people, beating people.
Mm-hmm.
The police
hitting people with cars, hitting people with shields.
Will, for any reason, attack people.
Knocking an old man over just because he tried to hand them one of their things.
Damn, I wonder what's up with old man.
He was bleeding out of his ear. Like, he was like 70, that old man.
Shout out to the white allies that have died at these protests, because there was like a white man that got killed yesterday. He was like 25 years old.
Yeah,
had a little kid. I don't know who the second person was killed, because I didn't do that much.
Yeah.
Shout out to homegirl Heather in like what was it, South Carolina, North Carolina, when she got killed with her car or whatever. Like,
Charlottesville.
People protesting is very dangerous now because the police have made it dangerous. Never have I gone to a protest where I thought the protesters on my side would be the ones to harm me. It was always the police dressed up in their freaking war outfits, gear, like ready to freaking attack.
Police be rolling through like. The militarization of police, that's the situation, man. They're going to be talking about that. If we ever make it out of this era, they're going to be talking about that forever. Like, yo, America's police. Y'all remember them? Them niggas was crazy. Anyway, there was a murderer walking around Kenosha, Wisconsin. A young white man who was not from Kenosha, Wisconsin. He was walking around. He was 17 years old, to be clear. He was walking around with a giant fucking
he was
gun.
Carrying an AK. I believe.
Yeah, it was a giant fucking gun. I saw the picture of the gun. He was walking around with, I feel like it was like a more, I don't know. Anyway, now let's not get distracted by the gun. But anyway, he was walking around with a gun, and he decided he wanted to do a little murder. He wanted to murder some protesters.
He wanted to help out the police.
Oh, and they were very appreciative. They didn't arrest him after, even after like a bunch of witnesses were like, he was the one who just shot this person. They were like, no, it's okay, get out of the street, run, like, sir, that's a murderer. This kid is like, let's be fully clear. Like, he went premeditated, fully ready to kill people.
Kill somebody. Like, he wanted to kill someone.
And he was comfortable enough to believe he would get away with it. And he would have gotten away with it. That's the best part. The police were dapping him up. They were giving him water.
The police were thanking these militia people. And I just want
you guys complicit.
To be very clear about how the police will always treat white people with guns. Because that's the same as them. They see them as,
that's their people.
That's their people, and they'll always be their people.
And those are citizens. Those are the citizens they're trying to protect.
Mm-hmm. The good people that don't burn down their own cities.
Okay, my thing is that how you coming from another state What do you like? They be like, what did they say? Oh, like what is it? Self-defense, my nigga. Why was you here? You could have been
Why
at home.
Why weren't you in bed
playing Call of Duty? Like you should have been. Like what the fuck? Like
ain't school started soon for you? You 17. You should be going for your Zoom school.
That nigga's like, bro, and like what? Like he wasn't protecting his own community because he wasn't from there. Like I don't understand how it's cool for people, random white people from random places, to come into neighborhoods where the people from that community are protesting to say like, oh no, we have to protect this place. No, you don't. You're not. You never wanted to protect it before. You were never interested in supporting us before.
They want to protect it.
You want to protect the businesses. Like, fuck
so they
that.
can come over and buy the land for cheap.
Fuck y'all, bro.
And build and push all the black people out. Like, it's so clear. Every protest that happens, everybody knows that black people aren't purposely starting fires. Like, there are some instances where people are starting fires, but those instances are far and few compared to the instances where we see activists on the ground and protesters saying, we didn't start that. Some white people came, or police officers that were in, what is it when they're not in uniform? I guess not in uniform. Yeah, that when plain clothes started this stuff, it wasn't us. And it happens over and over again in every city that a major protest happens because people want to repeat the same stuff. And so I never want to hear people with that bullshit of black people destroying their own community or blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah.
And even if we are, like, a lot of the things in our community are monuments to our oppression. Like, I'm not saying that anybody should go out and fuck up anything, especially not here. But, like, there are a lot of shit in our community it's not good. Like, we never wanted it. Like, oh, you're burning your own community. Is it our own? Who owns this? Who's taking care of it? There's mad empty lots and fucked up shit. Who's taking care of that stuff? Like, is it our community really? I don't know. Like, you know, I feel like maybe we're just getting rid of, you know. Anyway. But, yeah, so Jacob Blake survived. And that is the most important thing. So,
man, keep burning shit down.
And also keep
trying to kill black
fucking
people.
Dickhead. I'll never say his name because I don't know it, and I would never say it anyway. They always want to get attention. People who like to murder people, they love attention. So I would never say that kid's name. But anyway, he got arrested for murder.
I can't fathom going to another state with a gun and going to kill somebody at 17. Like
17.
Like
that's like, it's like that. It's like that. You know how that person tweeted about, they said, if black people inherit trauma from slavery, what do white people inherit from, you know? Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, I've never said that out loud, but I thought everybody was pretty clear on the fact that white people have inherited their ancestors' everything,
behaviors,
their hubris.
You know, we have post-traumatic slave syndrome. You know, for us, they have
they have white supremacy.
Yes.
They have white supremacy, and it's in their body. It's in their blood. And that's why even the allies struggle. That's why they struggle not to center themselves. That's why they struggle with tone policing. That's why they care about animals more than they care about people. Because, yeah. Anyway, they've inherited that from their ancestors.
Mike said same state. I didn't hear that, but there's so much different stuff. Even if you're 20 minutes away, same logic. Keep your ass at home.
Stay home.
Somebody get killed and there's major protests. Stay home. Don't try and join a militia and then kill people.
Cambridge to Mattapan. Yeah, don't do that. Why? Like, I just don't know why you go somewhere specifically looking to kill people. That's just not. I'm not a.
It's not what I. It's not my vibe.
I guess I'm not like that. So maybe
it's a different vibe from me. You know. The murder vibe, not for me.
All right. So more rough news. Hurricane Laura is rolling through. Is coming through to fuck up Louisiana and Texas. Hopefully not.
And then cause it to rain, I think, here, like, pretty badly on Sunday.
Hopefully not, knock on wood.
Inshallah. Knock on wood, as soon as it hits the coast, it just dies down. It'll just rain really hard in Texas and Louisiana.
because
those places can't handle that much more flooding.
More flooding, just any more crises. And I just, for Louisiana especially, it's like, bruh, like imagine like going through the worst thing in your life, the worst thing like so many people have ever seen with Katrina just 16 years ago. And then this hurricane is come. Oh, and wait, let me not forget about the incompetent, person who was in charge of supposed to be taking care of you, whatever. And then 16 years later, there's an even more incompetent person. The storm is supposed to be worse. Hopefully it's not, and I'd be out there like, this is some bullshit, bro. That's bull. Like, at least the president cares about Texas, I'll say.
Except the black parts.
Yep. But why? Who would even expect that? Anybody gives a fuck about black people anyway. Like, what a ridiculous suggestion. But anyway, there's another. Also, there's 2 hurricanes, right? Yeah, they're coming like one right after the other. We still haven't fixed Puerto Rico yet, so this is not good, I'll say. But anyway, to more fun topics, I guess. It's fun because it's funny to me. The RNC, they were doing their thing. They talked a lot about Joe Biden ruining the country. I don't know how he's doing that. Just, running for president, but he's strong. He's a Marxist, so
they're all Marxists. We're all Marxists, guys. If you're watching this, you're probably a Marxist.
You're a Marxist. I'm a Marxist. She's a Marxist. We're all Marxists, according to everybody at the RNC, at least. I feel like other people. I feel like even some Democrats might call me a Marxist, but the rest of everybody else, I don't know.
Marxist.
I'm not a Marxist. I don't listen to white men. Sick. It's sick. That's actually
a devilish
it's
thought.
Racist to suggest that I would listen to Karl Marx over, like all my indigenous, like my ancestors and shit. They knew how to be proper in both places they came from. So let's be clear.
Thanks.
Anyway, so yeah, they were wilding. First of all, they were wilding because they had every single Trump speak except for Barron. I'm surprised at this point they didn't just invite Barron on there. They used to have those little kids sometimes. They used to bring like those 12-year-old conservatives. Remember that back in the day?
Remember the ones that sung that song that was really creepy?
Yep. Anyway, so they should have just had Barron speak too, but they had Don Jr., they got everything. They got Don Jr., Eric, Ivanka, Tiffany, Melania, and the Donald himself speaking every day, I think, Donald Trump. And first of all, nuts. Why would you? We already see Donald Trump speak every day anyway, and we know it's a bad hit to hear Donald Trump speaking every day. Like, that is sick. But I'm like, Tiffany here and everything, shit. Like, we just going for dynasties. Huh? Like, we just here for the dynasty. Nobody gives a fuck about Tiffany Trump. See now that she put herself in this, I get to talk shit about her. Because, like, before she was just mostly, like, in college, just, like, doing her little rich white girl thing. And now I get to talk shit. Like, bitch, what the fuck? Like,
when they said she was in college, I was flabbergasted because the girl don't look her age.
She looks, like, 37.
She looked like her sister's age.
She does.
And it's quite confusing.
Although Ivanka's starting I think the pressure from the administration is starting to catch up.
You know what I thought about the other day when you mentioned Barron? Is it's very unfair he doesn't actually get bullied as much as Sasha and Malia did. I think, like, I thought about it the other day and I was like, they got, like, bullied. Oh, like, people...
For no reason!
They would say nothing but stand there or, like, laugh with each other and the media would be like, look at them. They're laughing at Thanksgiving. They're laughing
at the turkey pardoning. Like, I thought this was, like, a fun experience for the kids, is it not?
Look at her smoking weed.
Look at her enjoying her life. Look at her being a black child and listening to rap music.
How dare she? And Barron just gets to hide. And I know it's the double standard of him being a white male, being Donald Trump's kid, and also just being a male. But it's like trash. Like when you compare like us having to grow up along with them and the media's perception of these young black girls being, oh, their hair looks bad, oh, they're dressed bad, oh, they talk too much when you can barely hear them talk. And now you have this kid that's basically hidden away because allegedly he was bullied for a minute.
The craziest part is that, like, the scandal that would have been for anybody else, like the fact that Melania clearly hates that man, clearly despises him, and she don't even care if she's on camera. She will be like, "I'm touching," you know when. Like she really like yo. I'm like, what the fuck did he do to her? To be honest, like because I know he's just a slimy, disgusting individual as it is. She's probably just like, I don't have to touch you anymore. We already had a kid. Stop.
She's like, my check is arriving soon.
The bag is secured.
I'm the first lady, bitch.
But no, but like,
you know how much she hates him is that she talked for 8 years.
Bro, I'm saying, bro, Melania talked for 26 minutes at the RNC. Whose idea was that? Because Melania, she don't be coming with she know Martin Luther King. I'll say she's no great orator. I'm gonna tell you.
You would say Michelle Obama.
Yeah, you know, she definitely should have plagiarized this one.
At least half of it is something.
26 minutes of I don't even know. Like,
I bet they told her, you know what? Read that really slow because we don't have anybody else behind you.
Bro, I feel like that should count towards Donald Trump's next term. The time Melania took to give her speech at the RNC because it felt like a lifetime. Anyway, also, the homie Don Jr. talked, I think, did he talk the first night or something? I don't know.
All the nights are merged to me now.
I don't care, really. But he talked, and, you know, I say there were some allegations. Some people were suggesting or suspecting that, you know, he was just coming off as if he was, you know, kind of maybe in love with the cocoa and he got it for the Lolo. And I'm not talking about like hot cocoa or coconuts or like cocoa, the you know, Haitian Creole slang for pussy, I think is what that means. No, I'm talking about like, you know, the sniffy eye drippy cocoa, you know. Like I watched it. It made me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, they be on drugs. I ain't gonna hold you. That whole family looked like they allegedly look like they be doing a little.
People were suggesting that
Rick James and stuff.
I will say that if you watch the video, he does come across. You know, it does remind me of Genuine off the 5 Hour Energy. So
wow, what a good clip to reference.
I will say
got that little vein popping out.
He does it. His eyes
be bulging out.
Like he was just like his eyes were just crying the whole time. He was sniffing a lot.
That man got COVID.
His mouth very weirdly.
He got COVID in the cocaine.
Yo, it's something. I don't know, but it's something. It stressed me out, I'll say that. So
now we're on to the coon hour, because at every Republican convention there has to be one black person that will appear and
Candace Owens is so upset that it wasn't her this year.
What? You know why can't it be Candace Owens? Because it would have been. I know why they picked him. It's just it's not only offensive. Okay, I'll say who it is. It's the Kentucky Attorney General, Cameron Stone. I forgot to write his whole name because he don't deserve a name. He had the audacity to mention Breonna Taylor and another police officer that was shot in one of the protests about Breonna Taylor. He had the gall to mention her name at this convention about how they both deserve like justice or some bullshit, and how like he's still getting evidence. And how much more evidence?
What evidence do you need? They ran in the apartment and shot with impunity. They didn't stop. They just shot. They went to the wrong place. There's no more evidence necessary. Like, we know what happened. We all know what happened, and you especially know what happened. But let's be clear, as we're going to talk about later, the police are liars, and they will lie. And I don't know anybody. You know, one time they asked me at jury duty, would I believe a police officer over, you know, like, would I be more likely to trust the testimony of a police officer? I said no, and that's what got me in that damn jury duty. So that was a mistake. Although I did, you know, help. So anyway, but I will say that it's so automatic for me not to trust the word of a police officer that I you know, couldn't even tell them in jury duty that I would or something. But like, cops be lying, and as Black people, we know that cops be lying. Like, we know that. Like, how many more instances of cops be lying do we need
lying,
to believe?
planting stuff on people, like you can be like, this isn't stuff that's even hard to like research. Like, you could Google like police officers lying, police officers planting drugs on people. It's like everywhere you can do this stuff. So this man's just fugazi. Like, he went up there to be cooning with the white folk to relate to them.
Daniel Cameron. Cameron is his last name.
Ah, that makes sense. Why they didn't put that. That's a horrible name for a Black person.
Daniel Cameron. He sound like.
That's a horrible name for any person. But anywho,
two first names. That's why you can't trust them. See, that's what, you know. That's what they told me. Those people believe in.
That's what mainly old Black people have told me.
And Mr. Bernazani.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Bernazani. And old Black people. Mr. Bernazani is an old Black man inside.
OMG. Anyway.
Oh yes, this leads me to a topic that I wrote in. It's why don't Black men that so badly want to be conservatives and are conservatives make their own party? These people will rather coon it up with a bunch of white people and that hate them and that are really racist, and that I bet if what's his name? Daniel Cameron did one thing wrong, that whole party would flip on him. Everybody that he shook hands with.
Herman Cain died and nobody said anything for real. That was the man ran for president. He was doing well until he had to, you know, anyway. He had to drop out because he's a damn rapist. R.I.P. the rapist. Rest in hell. Rest in hell, rapist. Anyway. But you know, the man died, and they were like, did they say anything about Herman Cain?
Yo,
like,
they kept that shit trucking. They said
COVID.
But this is why, like, it doesn't make sense. This is why we should have multiple parties, because there's no reason why there shouldn't be a Black conservative party. There's so many, not
Black
just
people
Black
are hella
men that are
mad
conservative,
Black
but
people
Black
are hella
people.
conservative. Mad Black people are hella evangelical and Christian. Mad Black people love law and order. I don't agree with those people, but I'm like, bro, if y'all were smart and if y'all could just give up the racism just for a second, conservatives they'd be doing even better than they are now. Like, for real. So it's just because Republicans they're just
it
too
don't
racist.
make sense. The desire, and I know because a lot of, to me, in the way that I see conservatism is that you want to align yourself with white people and you want to align yourself with white supremacy. Although that might not be the way they see it, but a lot of the ideologies that they follow are the ideologies that white supremacy are kind of based upon. So Daniel Cameron might not think he's a coon. He might think that his ideas are what the Black community needs to change, but those are the ideas that have been freaking going on for, I don't know, forever now. That our progressive ideas, liberal ideas, Marxist ideas have never been tried in our government. But okay.
Liberal sick. Okay. So
juicy.
More fun things that make me very happy. The NBA, a lot of NBA
and the WNBA.
And the WNBA, definitely. Don't forget, they're doing it hella strong.
Yeah, WNBA is always better. We should have covered that 1 week ago. I'll mention it.
Didn't we? I swear we talked about that. Anyway,
I think briefly, but they were doing it thug-like.
Yeah, they were strong. But anyway, so the NBA, the Bucks to did not show up for their game against the Magic, and that in protest of police violence against Black people. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the other teams have been like talking about doing the same thing. So like the Celtics and the Raptors were talking about it, and like some of the other players have been saying things about it. And yeah, so there's a possibility that they might boycott the whole playoffs, which is great actually, because again, that's something that's really like, that would be a shock. That would affect people. Like that, this protests have to disrupt, and that would disrupt a lot of people's, schedule. People were able to be easily distracted, like Alejandra said, I think last week, by basketball coming back, especially in sports in general. But
it's great that they took a stand, and the NBA is probably one of the only professional sports where taking a stand is the easiest, because they have a strong union contract,
the players
league contract, whatever. So that's dope. I know everybody should be apologizing to Kyrie fucking Irving right now, because all y'all had a shit ton to speak. Not y'all, literally, but a lot of people on the internet and a lot of the analysts and stuff, they were talking about Kyrie is a disruptor. Is an article that said, that was like quoted, somebody quoted like, is he a disruptor now?
Bro.
A bunch of other shit.
When
and
he
he himself said, this will be a distraction. This will not work out well. And guess what? Somebody else gets shot, and now you're in the middle of the playoffs.
And that's the thing. Like, people got to remember that, like, the NBA is black men. Like, let's be clear. Like, there are other people in there, but the NBA is black men. And people, like, I feel like people don't really absorb that into their brain, but like, these men have dealt with everything that any other black man in this country deals with. Like, of course it's hard for them, of course it's harmful, it's just amazing that fans, I mean, white fans, I know, they just think niggas are slaves to just, shuck and jive. They think it's just it's like Zip Coon over here, but like other fans, like how can you expect them to just play basketball through their group? Like, I know Jaylen Brown was saying like, there's just so much more important stuff going on. We're all like isolated from our families. We're in this bubble. Like, it's not,
I didn't put this on the thing, but Paul George was talking about how horribly he's been playing. He's like, I don't have my family with me. Like, I didn't know it'd be this hard to be away from my family, locked in a place where they really can't leave.
Like,
you're stuck in this area. Like, usually, with a regular job, when you're done, you go home.
Facts.
You go home. Your kids are there. Your wife is there. Your support system is there. Now your support system is like either miles away or in an area you can't reach them, and they're expecting you to still play at the caliber that you were going to play beforehand. They're expecting you to do all this shit while the earth is like legit falling apart. Black men and women are still, and well, pretty much all specters and genders are getting killed by the police and just killed in general. And they're expecting you to just go along and la-da-da-da-da. It's not happening.
And play basketball, niggas. Shut up and dribble, Like, I'm like, this is what we need to be doing. And I'm glad to see that, like,
I hope it continues. I hope they just end the season.
Just stop. Like, I'm glad to see that they're actually taking a stand. Like, and I don't know, nobody told the Magic, I guess, because they were just practicing. They would just shoot, wait, it's 3:56, or there's 3 minutes to the game. Oh, everybody goes in the locker room, they just gone, bro. They just not there. The Bucks was just not there. That's hilarious. Bucks said, boycott? Because, I mean, like, I feel them, because, like, they were doing their best. They were wearing their Black Lives Matter shirts. They were kneeling for the anthem. They were talking about it in press conferences, but that just made people not want to cover them. It just made people stop covering their press conferences.
And then once the playoffs hit, nobody cared.
Nobody cared. Like, yeah. So, yeah. Anyway.
Cancel the playoffs. Anybody that says they should do it in Kobe's honor should shut the fuck up.
And Kobe's a black man too.
That's why I say they should shut the fuck up.
In Kobe's honor? What? Like, what?
They're
a
like,
ridiculous
you have
thing
to finish the season for Kobe. How about next year,
Kobe?
When the earth isn't, like, when people could die?
Kobe already retired.
How about
before he died?
For his honor,
He finished his season in his own honor.
You have to honor him, Malaysia. I don't know. These men, they want every excuse to watch some fucking basketball. Go watch some reruns.
Go play some basketball. Shit. We all need exercise and sunlight in this time.
This is when you gotta shut up and dribble like bro,
like, if you're not in the NBA, Laura Ingram, if you're not in the NBA, you should shut up and dribble. Like the people are complaining because anyway. But that like don't say it's about Kobe. Come on, that's bullshit.
Oh, so
that's
many
just
men on social media will say that, and I'm like,
that's just disrespectful. Y'all are
this
sick.
is the issue with always talking about people after they die. You don't know what they would have wanted.
You don't know them.
Especially he died so young. You die at 41. You don't really know what the legacy you want people to like know of you beyond just your work.
I mean, he has a legacy. He has kids. He has what, three kids, 3 surviving children.
Oh, yeah.
So that's his legacy. Like, it's got nothing to do with a bunch of niggas who he don't know and you don't know him. Like,
how
come
about
on,
you just be a Kobe in your life?
Yo, if that makes you be your best, then look up to him. I would be my own Kobe for my like. Okay, do that, whatever.
But don't expect a damn basketball championship to be this end all be all for his honoring.
That's bullshit. Come on. And also, his wife wants you to shut up. So she keeps saying that, and they all keep saying it. Anyway, more about the NBA and lion ass polices. Masai Ujiri, the general manager of the Toronto Raptors, or the president of the Raptors.
He's the president, but it don't really matter.
Anyway, he basically put the whole team together, and when they won the championship last year in Golden State, homie rightfully tried to walk on the court to experience that success with the team he built. And for some reason, I don't know if you were alerted by the name of Masai Ujiri, to be clear. That's a black man. For some reason, a certain person of a certain race in a certain profession, aka a white cop, for some reason felt that Masai, the mastermind behind the Toronto Raptors, didn't deserve to be on the court. So as Masai was trying to pull out his his thing to show that yes, he did belong on the court when he wanted to be on there, the cop just pushed him, shoved him like pretty hard, to be honest. And he was like, bro, like, and then the cop shoved him again. Cop shoved him twice. And then he shoved the cop, whatever. So there are a bunch of witnesses who basically said the same. But last year, I mean, around that time last year, the cop, the one who shoved him twice, and then stopped him from, for no reason, just to be a dick, just to walk around and be like, I can have power. He decided to sue Masai for attacking him. Said he for emotional distress and physical damages and and so he was wearing a body camera. So the police knew.
That's the worst part to me.
The police knew immediately what had happened, right? They still allowed this man, they still covered it up, allowed this man to sue. When Masai brought a countersuit, the footage got released, and it was obvious, that the police officer was the aggressor. Basically, we say that to say it doesn't matter what your position is. It doesn't matter how many people are around. It doesn't matter. Like, if you're a black man and there's a cop, they feel that they can do whatever they want. And oftentimes they get away with it. So, yeah. I think
that's all I think. Whack.
Yeah. So, yeah. And that's another reason. That's another reason for the NBA for the teams to boycott, know? So, yeah.
When that came out, it was just so, when people always want to say, when you get money, they won't treat you like this, they will. Because as our lovely
he was in a
Kanye
suit.
West said,
even if you in a binge, you still a nigga in a coop. And he's cooked now, so he know all about being in a coop. Nuts.
Oh, let's talk about more cooked whiteness. They're gonna make a Karen movie with Homegirl from Hustle and Flow,
Homegirl who plays a
Orange is the New
in every
Black.
movie. You know who I'm talking about.
That's why I'm not even gonna say her name. I googled her name.
Is it like Tegan?
It's a T. It's like
Tara.
not Manny, but it's
Tara.
Anywho,
Yeah.
In conclusion, they decided the best thing to do is to make a movie about Karen. You know, the meme of the essence of basically a racist white woman. They decided they would make a movie about that. And it's not even like a horror movie or something where like they kill her at the end. No, it's just like a regular movie.
My thing is like, Karens weren't like, Karen just became white people stole that like term and they became super like catch-all. Karen did not mean people who like actively like, Karen's like talking to the manager. They be saying Karen for people who be trying to, like, white women who be trying to kill people. Like, they be like really softening this Karen shit.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
I'm like, y'all, this is just another way to protect white women from the harm they cause, the white supremacy that they perpetuate by calling them Karens when they're like, Karen is the annoying lady who gets mad at you for having tattoos near her kid. That's a Karen. Like that. Karen is the old lady who stares at me because I'm wearing a crop top and I have blue lipstick and my hair's out. That's Karen.
Is you say shit and she looks at you as if you've shot somebody.
Like, Karen is not points gun at you. Karen is not even called the police. It's kind of not Karen. Like, I mean, it's Karen, but like murderers called the police. Ugh.
Call her a bitch because you know black women are always called when y'all don't want to address us properly. We're not called Karens. We're not called anything, but we're called bitches.
Females.
And females. We're like we're freaking dogs.
That tweet today where the dude was like, he's like, I don't like white women, but
the black woman asked me if I mess with white women.
The black female asked me if I mess with white women. I don't mess with white women. Blah, blah, blah. And people are like, black female white woman, sir. Like y'all think before you say words. Cause
no, they don't. They just be like,
not even say. That's the best part. It's not even say. It's type. You have to like, when you type in something, like you kind of be looking at it. Sometimes, me personally, I read it over a couple times. I still miss typos and stuff. That's just the struggle. But like, I be reading, I be like, this is good. This is gonna be a hit. I hope people retweet it. But I be looking at it for a long time before it goes out. And he didn't. Why would he just say the same word for both of them?
He looked at that and he said, a white woman and black female. Yeah, that sound right.
And then people were like, and then a bunch of crusty. All the dudes on Twitter, they be crusty. Like if you're a man on Twitter, the dudes on Twitter are crusty as hell. They were like, oh, like people were saying, oh, we don't call them males, blah blah blah. They were like, well, that's because it sounds weird to say males. It sounds foolish to say males. And you think you sound smart saying females, talking about human beings, people. Like, bro, and don't give me no semantics argument. Like, when if it's the female pilot, it's an adjective. Female can, it can modify a noun. Like, but when it's about a human, it's an adjective. You can't just call somebody a female. You can say, this is a female podcaster right here, right? This is a, female organizer. This is a bitch. No, I'm kidding.
I knew something was coming. I was waiting.
No, I'm kidding. But that I'm just explaining because I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people just don't get it.
We gotta add that to neurology. Like a little infographic of when to use female and when to use woman.
People don't get it.
And the point is, don't ever really use female.
You don't need.
You're not talking about. The way I always think about it is female. I use more for scientific purposes.
You're not.
I use it more for distinguishing animals. If I'm like talking about like a something that I'm like cutting open, dissecting, I might call it a female.
Like if it's the first female ... Okay, whatever. But like I don't need to. When I'm saying, oh yeah, I'm a podcaster, I don't need to describe myself as a female. People don't need to describe me as a female podcaster. Like, anyway, yeah. So white people are strange. Karen, oh wow, Biogen. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. Apparently, the Biogen conference that really kicked off our wave here in Boston and back in March. Apparently, that probably led to about 20,000 cases of COVID in Boston.
which is nuts.
I think we had like 100,000. No, is it the whole state had 100,000 or something? I have to look it up. Sorry, but like 20,000 is like at least a significant portion of
Iogen. Wow, they really just came straight through and said,
yeah, okay. So in Massachusetts, here we go. Perfect. Suffolk County. In Suffolk County, there were 22,000, almost 23,000 cases. So basically, every case of COVID pretty much started from this conference.
So are they gonna we gonna run some restitution or something?
And if you just do it also by the state, that's basically a fourth of the state's numbers too.
So what about that? What do we say about that? I feel like
I don't even know what to say about that. It's just such a wild thing to hear about. It's also like a science.
That's what I'm saying. It's a biogen. Like, it's even in the name. Why would you be that? Like, why would you lack so much foresight? Why wouldn't you think ahead of time? Anyway, it was, we're here because of that. But let's.
And our last topic and saddest topic, I should have put it in a different area. But Elder Fernandez
from Brofton.
I was like, should I even say Fernandez like that? Because they're Cape Verdean.
Fernandez.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Fernandez. Yeah. He was found dead in Texas, not that far away from Fort Hood where he was stationed. And this was after, I think it's just in the Army. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, Army. It was the Army.
Because I think Fort Hood's mainly just Army. He, like Malaysia said, he's originally, I think he was born in Cape Verde, but he lived most of his life in Brockton. And he was found dead and had, told the Army that he had been sexually assaulted. I put assisted. That hurt my brain. Bro. Sorry.
Sick.
That he had been sexually assaulted and was experiencing some mental health issues kind of as a result. And, I read some article that said that he had... A lot of people in the Army and a bunch of the military branches always struggle with depression and anxiety and different issues because living, thousands of miles away from your family in a very strict setting is not typically good for your mental health. So
an abusive setting, especially
it was just
people of color.
Really sad. Not his family necessarily, but people don't really believe he killed himself as they're initially saying because of the fact that he was sexually assaulted. And that stuff, and also considering the fact that Vanessa, another Army soldier, officer, I guess, I don't know her station, was found dead a few weeks ago. And before that, there have been a few others. Mm-hmm. In conclusion, Fort Hood in Texas needs to be closed. It's probably, and it's been known, I think since I've been on Twitter, I've known that Fort Hood is one of the worst places
it's bad.
To be, in the military and to live around.
Yeah.
So, R.I.P. to him. I hope his family gets some answers because that's just horrible. That's the second, first we had, Vanessa, a Mexican American. Now we have a lovely Cape Verdean American just that went to serve their country and probably make a better living for their families that are now dead and really at the hands of the military. So.
Sick.
That's all I got.
But yeah, that's the end of our show today.
We need a name.
We do need a name.
If y'all can think of a name, I don't know. You can win something. You can win an Obvious Nonsense hat if you think of a fun name for this damn show.
Yeah, a good name. The best name will get the hat.
And we gonna sell them hats soon. As soon as we take a damn picture
of the hats. It's hard, man. It's rough out here. It's really rough. But as you can see, we've been working on our consistency. Hopefully, you're noticing things are coming down the pipeline.
We're working.
I'm in the lab deep here. I'm in the lab. I'm in the lab in here.
You sound like a stupid rapper. I stay in the lab.
I be saying I got my thing. I be in the lab.
Got this little mic check, right here.
I hope that the mic worked this episode. I don't know what's been going on, but we don't have a shit mic. It's a good mic.
This thing a Blue Yeti. Happening. If you know mics, a Blue Yeti is pretty good in terms of mics. So if it's not,
and the first episode was so clear, but the last couple, I don't know what's been going on. But anyway,
the devil took us.
This is the end.
We're gonna go watch
Lovecraft Country.
She made me wait even though she watched it. That's disrespectful, I'll say. I really will.